Now that we've created both the shootable weapon and the melee weapon, let's create the grenade item. The grenade is a little bit unique in that when it is let go, that's when it should be used versus it being used based off of a button press or being used all the time. So let's go ahead and start creating it through the item manager, just like we did with the melee and the shootable weapons. And I do recommend watching one of those videos first, since I go into a little bit more detail on how the VR items are set up. So this video will be kind of more focused just on the grenade specifics. So we are going to create a right frag grenade, and the item type will be primary frag grenade. It's under P, and it will be added to the first person character. It has an item ID of 41. We do not want to add it to the default loadout, and we are going to add it to Nolan's right hand. That was actually already right. So now let's add the visual representation for it, and that's the FBX file. Now the item parent is items, and that works well. This is a grenade item, and that's all we need to do. So that's the right frag grenade. Let's go ahead and set up the left frag grenade now. And a lot of these values are the same, except it will be in the left hand. And now we can hit build item. Now that the standard items have been built, let's go ahead and make it compatible with VR. So we'll just drag it in and hit setup. And we'll drag it in and hit setup. And if we scroll to the bottom, we'll see that this VR throwable item component was added. And this component will first make the hand position data less noisy. When you're retrieving the data or retrieving the positions from the hand, since you're in the real world, it's very noisy data, and these parameters help make the curve a little bit smoother so that when you throw it, the velocity is pretty much, or hopefully in the direction that was set, or that you're moving your hands. This velocity multiplier is a multiplier so that you can give it a little bit extra boost when the grenade is actually thrown. So that's set up, or that's the grenade for setting it up for both the standard and also the VR. I know that we're going to get an error when I hit play, so I'm going to prevent that. Actually, let me hit play just so that we can see what error occurs. And we can see that it says a thrown object must be assigned to the grenade. So we can do that. Let's go to the grenade item component, and let's find the thrown object. So the thrown object field is right here, and when the grenade is thrown, it should be throwing the frag grenade. Let's see. Yeah, we want to throw this VR one. I think the only difference between the VR and the non-VR one is just that the pin is removed. So that's the frag grenade for the right hand. Let's go ahead and do the same thing for the left hand. And choose the one that does not have the pin. And since we know it's going to come up, let's go ahead and go to the frag grenade. We'll remove this pin, and then we will also do that for the right hand. And since we're here, let's go ahead and assign a material. I'll assign it for both the left and the right frag grenade, even though I'm only really using the left controller because I'm using the right controller with the mouse. But it's a good reminder that you'll need to set up both the left and the right hand. The values are very similar. So now if I hit play, we say I shouldn't get any warnings or any errors. And let's go ahead and try to pick up a grenade. So no errors, we're off to a good start. I'll teleport the grenades right in front of me. So here's my left hand, and now I'm going to pick it up. Animation looks correct, it's just the positioning is wrong. And then the other thing is, let me try to throw it. Let's see what happens. It just disappears. So that's not right. Let's go ahead and fix both of those. The easiest one is the positioning of the grenade, and we've done this before with the shootable and the melee weapons, and we'll set the position offset on the first person perspective item. And now I have these values handy in front of me. So let's set Actually, this is the right hand. We need to set the left hand grenade. 0.03, 0.05, and now we need to set the rotation. And that's these values. So again, in order to get these values, you do something similar to what's done just for a standard controller, where you hit play and then you get the right values and you copy those values over. So now, just to make sure that looks good and I did things correctly, I'm going to hit play and see what it looks like real quick. So grenade is there it is. So there it is, and oh, I guess it's good that I did this because values are not correct. So let's go ahead and see what I did wrong. Let's go to the left frag grenade, negative 0.07. Oh, 0.075, I guess that makes a difference. 0.03, 0.05, and then the rotation should be, rotation looks good. All right, let's see if that 0.5 makes a difference, or 0.05. All right, where are you, grenade? Just keep teleporting until you find it. There we go. There we go. So that makes a difference. All right. Now we need to set up the throwing. And we can do that similar to the melee weapon video, where we can use the item states in order to trigger the hold ability, in this case, to change when I'm holding a grenade. So if we look at the hold ability properties, we can see that when the hold ability is stopped, we can specify an ability that should play. And right now it's set to drop, so if there's a drop prefab, it will drop the grenade. But we don't want the grenade to just drop, we want it to actually be used. So I want this on stop action to be used. If we only had grenades in our game, I could just leave it at this, but because we have other items that are not grenades, I want to just keep it at drop and then use the state system to change this to drop when the grenade is picked up. We can do that by going to slot equip and adding a new state name that corresponds to the item type. So now when the primary frag grenade is picked up, the state name of frag grenade will be set, and because we have append slot index enabled, the actual slot index will be appended. So for example, it would be frag grenade slot 1. And we are going to use that in this hold ability. So when this hold ability at slot 0 is started, we want to add an existing preset. We've already created this preset. We'll look at it in a second, but we'll change this name so it says frag grenade slot 0. Now I want to do this for the right hand. Actually, this is the left hand is slot 1. So let's go ahead and add, actually we don't want to create a new preset, we want to add an existing preset. We want to add that same one, except call this slot 1. And so that looks good. Now if I look at this preset, we can notice that all it really did was just change this on stop action. So now when I'm holding the frag grenade, the hold ability will play the use ability when the button is let go. So this in theory should allow me to pick up the frag grenade and then throw it. Let's see where it is. Let's see if I'm right over it. So if I can just hold it. Yeah, I happened to be right over it. So when I pressed the hold trigger, I was able to just pick it up. But now when I throw it and I let go of the hold trigger, I should see the use ability play, and the use ability will use the hand velocities or the hand positions to get a velocity and hopefully throw it in the direction that my hands are moving. So let's see if this works, and I'm gonna throw it, and there we go. So I let go a little bit late, but it still worked. So that's how you set up the grenade.